it's Bridget here in Sedona, and I wanted to talk to you today about the span. And the span is a 5-year window of time-space acceleration that has been made possible from 2010 to 2015. Many of you watch me via Bashar, and so you probably know about it. If you don't, YouTube the span 2010 to 2015. You'll find out more about that. And the interesting thing is it's been a portal of awakening. I know that a lot of people that I've spoken to, as including myself, have really awoken in this space in 2010 or somewhere, like, oh, I started remembering more in 2011, or I made a huge change around that time. And so it's been big, and the pinnacle of that was December 21st, 2012. And so this was the whole picking your train, choosing which track you want to go on, which timeline you want to follow, which version of you on which planet Earth was the most aligned with you based on how you were behaving and what you were choosing in your life during this 5 years. And the trains left the station, or that track was more so set on December 21st, 2012. But now, with the solstice that occurred on June 21st, 2015, right now, just a few weeks ago, it's the end. The portal closed. The timelines have crystallized. Where you are now is where you probably will be. Of course, there's always an opportunity to change. You can always grow, you can always change, but the ability for the fluidity and flexibility of that change is maybe a little bit more solidified now. Not maybe, it is more solidified now. Which is crazy. I mean, it's kind of even hard to speak in those terms of solidification, because everything's about flexibility and fluidity. So it's kind of interesting. So what happened for me, because I've known about this for a long time, and so it's kind of like, if you want to talk about goal setting, in the old days, this was kind of like, it's like a goal. It's like, okay, know that 2015's coming, better be in alignment here. And so for the past few years, one of my big major life theme core challenges in this incarnation has been my playing out of the martyr archetype. That energy of over-accommodation, over-giving, people-pleasing, overdoing, self-sacrifice, that's the energy. That's the energy I've been playing out since forever. And so in these past few years, it's not just because of the end of the span, but because it's who I am, I wanted to let this go because it is so stifling and it's so heavy, and it just it solidifies and crystallizes, and it's very dense energy. And so it was really interesting in my process of letting go, and I wrote a whole article on it, so you can click that below to get more detail about that process and what that was like for me, and maybe some tips on how you could do it too. But the most interesting part is this past year and a half living in community here in Sedona. It's been the most intense, the most up in my face to really look at this, because I had the opportunity to give and give to so many people because I was with so many. And over this past year and a half, I've really let go of it, and I've really started to nurture myself a lot more and take care of myself and not overgive and not carry for other people. But the last, it hadn't fully gone, it hadn't fully ended. And it hadn't, but I hadn't chosen, and that's the key part, is we are choosing everything. The circumstances you're in right now is by your choosing, and more so how you react to them or how you're going to behave in them. But if you want something to change, that's completely up to you. And of course, outside forces can reflect things, but it was really up to me to choose to end this energy, to end this pattern for this lifetime. And so I didn't even know that I was consciously doing this. I mean, as far as I went to New Mexico for December 21st, I went to Alma, and I got to experience her eternal, just so much giving. I mean, talk about giving. And, you know, I sat there and I'm like, is this overgiving? You know, she's hugging people for 10, 12 hours straight. Is that overgiving? How is this working? And I mean, that's part of her purpose. So that's her joy. But she's drawing from source, and that's the antidote to the martyr energy, is really knowing and actually ascending from that third density kind of love where you want to do something for someone else and then get love back from it, like conditionally. And really it's the resurrection energy, the Christ, the rebirth energy, that's the ascension into the fifth dimension, which is you're doing it because it's who you are. You're doing it because it's not for the outcome of love of someone or love in a particular way. You just are love because you're drawing straight from source, and that's what I saw Alma doing. And then afterwards we went to the hot springs, and that just, something exploded in me. It was just like, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot overgive. I cannot hold for others. It was like, I'm done. I've had enough. And it left me. That belief, that energy was finished, was complete. And with every huge core belief like that, it's like an umbrella. And underneath it are like a lot of mini beliefs that are supportive beliefs to this big overarching theme. So that day I got rid of this big overarching belief. And then all of a sudden, over the next few weeks, these trickling beliefs started to melt and started to reveal themselves. And people that I have been working with and friends with forever are just disappearing. I mean, like, not, you know, wanting to associate with me anymore or choosing different paths. I mean, huge core relationships. And so I was like, wow, I could see how clearly it's like I changed myself and my outside world started to change. It's that spiritual principle that we all know, but it was in action. And because this was such a deep core challenge for me, it had so many ripples that I could so evidently see them clearly. And I mean, other things like, well, after I got home, I literally sneezed over 100 times in one day, releasing all of this energy and like the energy of caring for other people. And I like to care for other people, not carry for them. And so it was an incredible experience. And of course I'm still like unraveling the last patterns and the last behaviors, but the root has been taken out. And so I find that interesting because even with me knowing about the span, I still was like hanging on to a certain train, a certain timeline, and then it's like at the last second I shifted, I chose again. And this is, I guess, I'm sharing this to share that, I mean, in my humble state of acknowledgement, like, I am not perfect and I am working on my stuff. I'm really wanting to look at everything and acknowledge everything and do my best to be the best person that I can be. And this showed, like, it, you know, how I'm right there with you. I'm right there with everyone. Like, we're just doing our best. And I guess I'm sharing this also to say that you can choose again. And you can choose, like, and make it a big shift and make it a big life-changing, life-altering energy in you. So it's the end of the span, and cause for celebration if you're where you want to be. Cause for maybe more shifting if you're not. And knowing that it's all perfect and you're where you are for a reason, and also knowing that you're empowered to have the ability to choose again. So thanks for listening to my story, and please comment below. I want to know, like, what has come up for you, or what this, like, span encapsulate what this span has meant for you and where you're wanting to go. Because this is an interesting, like, collective energy, and I feel like that's interesting too with, like, the end of martyrdom. My martyrdom is like a microcosmic reflection of, in the collective, that martyrdom's, you know, starting to end. Like, it's not working. We know that it isn't working. And so it's like, okay, how can we cultivate a new way of being and a new way of, like, loving ourselves and taking care of others, but in a really balanced, healthy way. So it marks a big shift for me in my reality. So please share below what's gone on for you, and we'll talk soon.